Hey, I'm Brooke. I just built this platform in the back of my car, and I'd like to tell you all about how I did that.
I started this process by first deciding what I wanted or needed. Second, design the platform to be a level sleeping surface and storage area. Third, built the platform. And then fourth, added on additional components for privacy and insulation, things like that. Number one, you could call this the design requirements or needs and wants. I wanted a level place to sleep since there's a little crease in the back of the car where the seats fold down. Wanted to get rid of that. And since I didn't have a ski rack at the time, there was no place for me to store my skis. So I needed a lift in that platform so I could put my skis somewhere. Step number two would be to do those sketches, which you can see here, and then also check out my prototype that I made out of paper. I basically took my sketch and made it into a piece of paper. You can see I've got specific measurements down here and then some hinges up top. So there is tape on the bottom side and tape on the top side. I've been playing around with where I want those hinges to be. This is also going to be really helpful for me when I take it to my friend who's going to help me build it, as well as when I'm at Home Depot scrounging around for some supplies. I don't totally know what I'm doing, so to have something physical like this to just hand to someone is really helpful. Rather than trying to explain the intention of it, you can just show them. So this is my little paper prototype. And that's my mouse, pretending to be my center console. The third step, which is the build phase, I have a little video kind of going into my process with my friend Joe, as well as plenty of video footage of the build itself. He took a look at my prototype, and based on what I showed him, he had some ideas on how we could solve for the part of the platform that folds over. He also made some suggestions on hinges that I could purchase and what material we could use. So of course I'm going to be using plywood for the platform. Originally I was thinking I was going to use 2x4s for the supports in the middle, but we're just going to do the whole thing in plywood. He suggested that I get Pure Bond plywood that is formaldehyde free and it's a very smooth surface, good to put a sleeping bag on. So that's what I got. He took my prototype home and did a little homework himself, which was really helpful. He put together this cut list, so he knows exactly how big a plywood sheet is, and he just measured out the exact measurements on here for me. So I took this to Home Depot, said I need a sheet of Pure Bond, and they cut it for me. So I thought that was amazing. I don't know if they were going above and beyond or if that's something they always do, but how cool is that? They cut all the wood for me. So now I have everything cut to size in the back of my car ready to go for this weekend. So that was awesome.
fourth thing, just a word about privacy. I cut out bits of Reflectix to line my windows. I also covered that material in black fabric so that from the outside, all that people could see was black. I thought it was a little more discreet than having shiny silver exposed on my windows. I also ordered a curtain from Amazon, also linked below, which I hung between the chicken bars or the handles on either side of the front seats, so that added an additional barrier to keep some of the warm air in the back of the car. All right, lastly, number 5, some parting thoughts. I did end up sleeping on this platform for a few nights throughout that season and determined that it just wasn't for me. It was too cramped. You know, the Subaru Impreza, it's pretty small, and having 6 inches taken away from the headspace, it's just too much. You know, I'd go to change my clothes and I'd be hitting my arms on the ceiling, and it was just claustrophobic. I could only imagine if there had been 2 people in the car, it would just give me anxiety just thinking about changing clothes in there. So I ended up buying a ski rack, and I think that I will probably buy just a straight up piece of plywood to sleep on if I want to do that again to make the surface flat. But having the lifted platform was a little bit overkill. I really didn't feel like I got that much storage space from it to really make it worth it. All that said, I spent a good portion of my season this year in my friend's panel van, and that was a major upgrade. So much more space. We were able to make coffee and oatmeal in the van every morning without having to leave the van at all, which is so nice. And changing clothes is not an issue. You can stand up back there. It's really nice. If you get into car camping and you feel like, you know, you camp a lot, you sleep in the car, you're comfortable with all that stuff, you're really into it, I'd recommend trading in your Subaru for a van. Maybe it's good to get some test runs in there and see if the lifestyle's for you. But if you're passionate about it, go for it. It's really worth it. All right, that's all for now. Enjoy the links below, like I said, and thanks for watching.